There's all these tweets on Instagram. What's
Do you want to try that again?
Welcome to the first episode of Anecdote. This is a podcast where we talk about our real life experiences in a satire, funny, dumb way, I guess.
Because our life is a comedy.
Yeah, because our life is a comedy. There we go.
It's weird not being able to see you. I'm just looking at myself recording now while hearing your voice.
It is pretty weird, isn't it? Just talking to myself on the camera.
I'm actually in the house by myself at the moment because no one else has come back to uni yet. So I can.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah.
I thought you had one other person with you.
No, Eleanor dipped. She came here and then dipped like a couple of weeks ago. She couldn't hack it.
She don't care about you. She don't care about you.
She didn't know I was coming back. To be fair.
5 people in your house, and you're the only one there.
Yeah. Apparently, they're coming back. Especially like Yash and I are coming back beginning of March, which is now the 1st of March today. So should be within the next week or two.
I was about to say it's already the beginning of March.
The beginning of March is any time within the first half, in the way that I understand it.
This is true. This is very true.
Sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Oh man, what have you been doing during lockdown?
Isn't that the question? Sleeping
Third
in.
one. Sleeping in. Yeah, I mean, same. I wake up at like 1 p.m. every day, but that's only because if I wake up any earlier, then I'm awake for like 2-3 hours, maybe 4, maybe 5, just doing nothing for the entire duration of my day. So I need to pass time somehow. So I wake up at like 1-2 p.m. Then I just lay in bed until like 3-4 p.m. I get out of bed, watch some TV. Then I eat and I go back to sleep. Simple as that.
Wow, is that your anecdote for the week?
That is my that's my story for the week. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. Sleep is a good time killer though when you've got nothing to do. I mean, I still have work. You don't even have work anymore. Like at the moment, do you like uni work?
Oh no, because my course is we're off for the next 6 months. We're meant to be on a placement, but you know, COVID, no one is hiring. Well, actually, I mean, other courses are getting placements pretty easily, so I can't complain. But I think that for architecture, it's slightly different because they need to have a reason to want us. Does that make sense? Like other firms will just like they'll just be like, oh yeah, we'll take you. But in architecture, like there's a culture of winning work. So if they don't have any work at the time, like if they're not designing anything, then there's actually nothing for you to do at their firm. And since like a bunch of industries have been like put on hold, including the architecture industry, for the past few months, maybe coming up to a year now, we don't really have any work. I mean, I know a couple people with placements in London, but I think most of the UK students, we're kind of struggling at the moment, really. But it's fine. It's fine. My uni, or our uni, for architecture does 6 months instead of traditional 1 year. So that's not too bad, because then I have next year to find a placement as well.
Imagine trying to do I'm trying to find a placement next year for politics, but no one wants to hire a politician at the moment. So.
Oh yeah, no one likes you guys.
No, I don't know why. Politicians are great people.
Oh yeah, you guys really are great. Like, imagine being a politician. It's a 10 out of 10 job, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
whenever I tell someone I'm doing politics, they're like, "Oh, do you want to be a politician?" Then I'm like, "Well, not really." Like you're doing architecture to become an architect. That makes sense. You don't really do politics to become a politician.
Like the 7-year course of architecture to not become an architect. Like that's like doing medicine and going into engineering.
Just do it for the experience.
Why not? I mean, maybe some people do medicine and go into engineering. I might not know what I'm talking about.
they're listening to the podcast right now.
This
Doesn't know
guy,
what he's on about.
this guy's just an idiot.
He did not do his research before the podcast. Let's get cancelled after 1 week for
cancel.
not knowing what you're on about.
Cancel culture is so funny. It's so funny. Like you'll just be on the internet and you'll just see someone get cancelled for something they said in like 2010 that they didn't mean, or they said as a joke, or they didn't know was bad back then.
Yeah, that's the danger of Twitter, you know. I feel like most people get cancelled. They said something on Twitter.
Like the other day, not the other day, like a couple months ago, I went through my Twitter and I was just deleting every single retweet that could be seen as controversial. Because I don't tweet stuff that often, obviously, other than like about my uni work. But all the stuff that people could be like, oh, you retweeted that, you retweeted this. I just straight up removed. Because let's say one day, right, I get a job.
Let's say one day you finally get a 6-month placement for your second year.
Let's say one day I finally get a 6-month placement for my second year of uni, right? And then one of my colleagues is just scrolling through my Instagram, because this happened in first year, right? I was like, oh. No, not my Instagram, my Twitter. I was like, oh, do you guys have Twitter? And even one girl who didn't have Twitter searched my Twitter up, and she could go through every single one of my tweets. And I was just like, yeah, guys, please don't do that. But yeah, now my Twitter's clean, I think.
That's the thing.
And it's on private, so yeah, it's all good. You don't use Twitter often, do you?
No, I mean, I have a Twitter account, but it's mostly I just have a scroll. I think I retweeted one thing you said that was like Adam sucks once in first year. I think that's the only thing that's pinned to my page.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean, you gotta at your friends sometime.
So if anyone ever searched me up, they'll just find out that I suck, as according to Faber.
Adam is ugly.
It's ugly. That's what it is. There you go.
Yeah.
You're gonna get cancelled for that one day. Just watch.
Oh god, your fans are gonna kill me. First year was great though.
First year, what a time. No COVID until like March.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we didn't actually get to experience the full experience. Wow, look at my English. We didn't actually properly get to experience first year. I mean, we did up to March, but then
we didn't get the summer. We didn't get the
summer
full first year.
Summer is like the best part of first year. Like, imagine having to go home during summer. That was us. It was not great.
That was so depressing. When it's the first day it was sunny for the year, and I was packing up my room to go home.
Bro, oh man. Oh, you know what I remember happened? Wait, was it during the COVID times? When that like klaxon alarm went off and everybody had to stay in their rooms? I don't even remember what it was.
I remember that. No, it was the thing. It was like they normally have the klaxon when you have to go outside, but this was the klaxon where you had to stay inside. It was like a drill of what they would do if there was like a shooter or something. And I heard it. Because I was sleeping in, it went off about midday, and in first year I used to sleep until like 1. So I heard it in bed. I looked out the window. I was like, "What are they doing out there?" And then I went back to bed. So if there was a shooter, I'd have just not even been aware of what was going on.
Been dead, bro. Like, I mean, to be fair, for them to get through, how many students on campus at a time? Like 15,000.
Yeah.
I remember I was in the kitchen and I just heard something and I looked out the window like, oh, is
the purge is starting?
World War III happening? Like, what's going on? And they told the students in lectures that it was a chemical spill, but it turned out to just be a drill.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, you ain't gotta lie to us. Just tell us it's a drill.
If they tell you it's a drill, you're gonna treat it like a drill. You know, if they tell you it's a chemical leak.
This is true.
Because that was just after the World War III memes were circulating in January of 2020 as well, and I was like,
World War III memes,
cool.
And a klaxon alarm goes off in your uni. Next thing you know, you're drafted for war.
If there was a World War III, I don't think they'd use people. I don't know. I think it'd mostly be like, I don't think there'd be like a battlegrounds. I think it'd just be bombing like civilizations with
That's actually, it's funny you
chemical
say that
warfare and
because
stuff.
I was actually looking at this. Don't ask why. I googled this the other day, but UK can't actually draft people. Like they stopped that after World War Two. So if a world war
Oh.
happens, we're not going off to war. But people in the US, they're screwed. Yeah, so in the UK, you only go to war if you want to go to war. I mean, I don't know. That's probably something they could change, like on the spot, if a world war actually happened.
I mean, that works better though, because it means that anyone who joins the army in the UK actually wants to be there. Like the UK has a smaller army than the US. Obviously, the US is like the biggest military in the world,
Yeah.
but the UK per person has the most skilled army in the world
Mm.
as of like 2015. Anyway, I don't know about anymore. So
The UK
I
army
mean, it
is
works.
just. I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me cancelled, but you probably know my view on armies and
Yeah, you love them. You
that
think
sort
we
of
should deploy
stuff.
them on the
Yeah, I love
homeless?
them.
That's what you said, right?
Oh yeah. On the homeless, like
That was a joke.
on the homeless people, like they are such a huge force that we need the army.
I reckon if all the homeless people like band together, they could take us out.
I, I don't think there are that many homeless people. Let me
Huh?
Google
Yeah, I
this.
don't know actually.
Homeless people. How many homeless people?
I know it's growing. I know that soup kitchens are getting
There's
overwhelmed
only
and stuff now.
280,000. I think an army of kids
Uh,
could take them out, like, respectfully.
yeah, that's some like dystopian there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Creating a war of the homeless for the entertainment of the rich.
that sounds like a Black
That's
Mirror episode, to be honest.
that does. Yeah, we just need to put technology in there somehow. Like maybe they're fighting robots. There we go. That yeah, Charlie Brooker, new Netflix series of
Homeless
Black
robots.
Mirror, homeless robots versus homeless people
Yeah. Have you
for
watched,
the entertainment of the rich.
what's that show called? I think it's Hashtag Alive. Is that what it's
No,
called? Let me Google this. Robot show on Netflix.
is it Humans?
Yeah, they're made to look like humans.
Oh no, is it the show Humans that was on Channel
Oh,
4
yeah.
and it's on Netflix?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is humans. Oh, yeah.
That's a good show. I've seen
It
that.
was.
I haven't seen Hashtag Life, whatever you were talking about, but I've seen Humans.
Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So, but, you know what happens in humans.
But our viewers might not, so
Oh, right. Yeah. Let
explain
me
anyway.
explain for you guys. This show is pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's amazing, but it's. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, 6.8 out of 10. Um, so basically, these AI robots made to help out around the house and stuff, care for disabled people, people who work too much, you know, that sort of stuff, like a computer.
But in a human form, and it can do like human
Yeah, in
things.
human form that can do human things. The guy who created the first robot, he develops his code and he develops a consciousness code. And it's like an infection for the robots. He creates 5 robots, and those robots can live, feel, you know, everything we can do. They feel love,
They're
they feel happy,
sentient.
they're sentient, yeah. They're being hunted by both people who want to destroy this technology and people who want to use this technology for their own profit. You know what I mean?
Capitalism.
Yeah, basically. And yeah, it's basically robots. Well, they don't take over the world. They can, I guess, seeing as they're sentient robots who are stronger and better than humans in every single possible way, and they can probably rebuild themselves because they have the intelligence to. Realistically, minor plot hole, but um,
But they have feelings, Favour. That's
this
what it is.
is
They
this
don't
is
want
true.
to.
They have
'Cause
feelings.
they have
They have feelings.
feelings.
Yeah, but they just get like wiped out by humans. They just get smoked. um, if imagine them, but homeless, homeless robots
Damn.
fighting against.
Yeah, I forgot why we were going down this rabbit hole. Yeah, you linked it all back.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Blade Runner,
Oh, I
where
haven't
there's
watched
like
Blade Runner.
I only watched it like last year. I hadn't seen it before. But the newer one, Blade Runner 2049, I think it is. One of the like robot people, synths, has a child, like a human child.
Yeah.
So it's like,
How does that happen?
well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, I'm not
You
gonna
know,
watch it. Actually, no. I should
our
watch it. No,
viewers
I'll
might.
add this to my list right now.
The cinematography in the 2049 one is really good.
Yeah.
really artistic cinematography.
Cinematography. Imagine if that was the only reason we watched movies.
Sometimes it is. Like, if I turn it on and I don't like the story, but the cinematography is good, I would continue watching it. But I wouldn't start watching it for the cinematography. It's just, if I find out it's bad, I would then only continue for cinematography, if that makes sense.
Not gonna lie, I'd say that applies to a lot of Marvel movies. Let me not cause anything controversial right now, but
You don't like Marvel movies?
I love Marvel movies.
What? Just for the cinematography?
I'm not going to give any examples because I feel like people will fight me. But yeah, they are very good when it comes to cinematography. DC movies, 10 out of 10 when it comes to cinematography. Writing is
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Batman vs Superman was just 2 hours of camera angles,
literally.
basically.
And then they team up because their mums died or something. Was
No, both their mums had the same name or something.
Hey, I mean, why else?
I feel like they just gave up halfway through that script. And we're like, let's just finish it with them having the same name.
This movie needs to be 3 hours long. We need to do something. Realistically, Superman would smoke Batman, but, you know. Oh, speaking of Batman, there's all these tweets on Instagram. What's...
Do you want to try that again?
I can't even speak. There's this Twitter page called Batman Slander.
Okay.
All they do is slander Batman. Because if you think about it, right? This guy... And he knows all forms of martial arts, right? And he's like built, super genius, super rich, basically everything you could ever want to be, right? And because some thug killed his parents when he was like 11 or something, now he's going around breaking robbers' necks. like, just picture this, right? Picture this, right? Imagine you are struggling to feed your family, right? and you're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go rob a bank. Last resort. you're in Gotham, and Batman rolls up and he just snaps both your legs. You twist your entire arm backwards. You could never walk again. Just because you were trying to feed your family. You weren't even going to hurt anybody. You only had the gun just to scare people.
Let's be honest, the Justice League only wants him on the team because he can pay for stuff. Like, exactly. He has nothing else.
Batman is a tyrant.
Like, he has enough money to, like, feed everyone in Gotham and solve poverty, at least in Gotham, probably further.
Literally.
But instead he goes around breaking people's legs.
There's one tweet says, Batman will fuck a henchman's spine up for simply trying to feed his family by putting some boxes on a truck for the Joker. This guy's not even a thug. He's just putting some boxes on a truck and Batman's Hey, Batman is actually a true villain. They need to rewrite that whole script, let his true nature show. He's really the villain and Joker's the good guy.
Yeah, and I was saying, like the Joker, the 2019 film, the newer one, where it sort of makes you feel sorry for the Joker. I reckon they should do like a sequel where Batman is the villain and the Joker actually becomes more.
That would probably be the most realistic thing I have ever seen.
Like, the Joker's just trying to like make a living, man. He's been kicked out of all these jobs because he's weird. He's trying to make a bit of money.
If you think about it that way,
breaks his spine.
The Joker is just a normal human with depression. But he just deals with it in the wrong way. But
literally,
Batman, right? Bruce Wayne. This guy has had years, many years.
He woke up and chose violence
to deal with his parents' death. And he's out here just snapping people's necks because they're putting boxes on a truck.
The thing is, he didn't even become Batman straight away. Like, he let that simmer. He put that on the back burner for a bit, and then
Batman is so broken, violent. Man. He's so broken. Most broken superhero.
Hero.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of shows and movies and stuff, right? Guess what I just finished?
What?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Oh,
For the first time, you've watched it all the way through for the first
I
time.
mean, no,
Or had you done
I've
that
watched it
before?
all the way through many times. I just finally watched the 2 seasons with Jodie Whittaker. I'm not
Thoughts?
gonna slander her for no reason, but those were
But
the worst 2 seasons of Doctor Who that I've ever seen.
I mean, I stopped watching like naturally just the first time as a child. I stopped watching when Peter came along, and then I've since watched a few of Peter's, and I thought they were quite good.
Yeah.
I watched the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, most recent one with Jodie Whittaker, with the Daleks, Revolution of the Daleks.
I
Whatever.
don't even remember. I don't remember.
It's the most recent episode of it, unless a new season started that I'm not sure
the
about.
most recent episode. Then it's the one I watched yesterday.
What were your thoughts on that? Because that's the only one I can
It was
really
bad.
talk about.
It was very bad.
I didn't like what they did with the Daleks. Just the way the Daleks looked. That was my biggest critique.
The Daleks
No
are meant to be
fault of-
threatening. Like, the Daleks and the Cybermen are the two most threatening races in the galaxy, right? I'm not in the galaxy, in the universe. But she just made them seem like they were just idiots. I don't know.
That's your rant for the day.
That was my rant for the day.
Wrong?
Rant. I say rant. What's wrong with that?
Do you say
I say rant.
Maybe I'm wrong. You know, when someone pronounces something differently to me, I always, my default is that I'm wrong. Is it rant or rant? Yeah. Oh, no.
Wait, can you hear that? Let me turn the volume up.
No.
Rant.
I'm not hearing anything.
It's rant. Okay, that was my rant for the day. That sounds so wrong. Rant.
Rant? You think rant sounds better than rant?
Yeah. It's like people who say bath instead of bath.
Rant. Bath. Yeah, that's how you rant, but I say bath.
So on sixth form in my physics class, they used to get so mad at me because I said hadron instead of hadron. They were like, oh no, that's the American way to say it. Well, all the lectures I've watched online say fucking hadron, right? So I'm going to say hadron. Like, this is the right way
You have
to
to
say
piss
it.
them off and go, like, aluminium. It's aluminium.
I say
isn't it?
aluminum.
It's aluminium.
I say
It's
aluminum,
American.
but only because it's shorter. Aluminium is British.
Aluminium is British, right?
No, aluminium is British.
You know, when you say a word too much, it just sounds wrong. Anyway, go on, massive. Just cut that out. Just cut that whole section out.
Moving on. Oh man, my mug is so dirty on the outside. What the hell?
What happened to your mug?
I made this cup of coffee in the morning. When I woke up, but I woke up. I went to sleep around 4:30. And I woke up around 9 a.m. So I went downstairs, made a cup of coffee, just to have it ready for when I wake up again, because I was like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. So I made a cup of coffee, left it on my table, went back to sleep, woke up, and then it was just cold. Like, I mean, obviously it's gonna be cold, but when I was still sleepy, I was like, this is a genius idea. I won't need to go downstairs to make a.
Idiot.
But you know, it's coffee. Coffee gets cold. Real coffee drinkers know cold coffee is still coffee.
Real coffee, the real caffeine addicted people out there.
The real caffeine addicted people like me. Alright, let's continue.
What's our theme for the week that we're going to base our anecdotes around?
Oh, this week it was school. School. Let's talk about school.
School. Well, primary school was a big incident. It got the news crews, local news crews, not nationwide. The local news crews got involved. I don't know if you ever had
we
that.
Didn't.
And it was actually like the big event, breaking news in East Anglia.
East Anglia.
East Anglia, big up East Anglia.
Gang. East side.
There are gangs in this story. We'll come to that later. Basically, the outline is, I don't know how much I'm allowed to disclose, so I'm going to use fake names for my brothers.
My man.
A girl in one of the young. This was when I was in year 6, 5 or 6, one of the top years. And one of the girls in the younger years had been tied to the fence with skipping ropes by children. whipped. in I didn't know how else to say it. That is what happened.
I was trying so hard to hold my laugh and continue.
Just let it out, bro. So she was.
Oh god,
it's not funny.
Children are cruel.
Children are cruel. I just want, it wasn't done by like the teachers there or anything. It was done by other children.
Yeah, I got that. Oh god.
They tied the girl to the fence with skipping ropes and whipped her with other skipping ropes. But that wasn't even the scandal. The scandal was that the scandal. Yeah, no, that was the big event, but that wasn't the scandal. The reason the news crew got involved is because the school didn't tell the parents. The parents found out through the lunch lady casually talking to them outside of school. It was like the school tried to like cover it up, cover up this whipping. That was when all the news crews got involved. This was some big cover up, some Watergate level.
No, see, that's crazy. Because if someone did that to my child, every single child in that school, they're catching these hands. I'll be honest. As school ends, just smoking kids left and right.
Going up. Hitting all the kids.
Oh god, no. That's not funny. It's not funny. It shouldn't be. Guys, this is completely serious.
It's not funny.
If oh god.
I just want to clarify for legal reasons. I was not involved. It was people I knew. But that day, well, what we would usually do is there were different sort of groups. We'll call them groups or gangs, if you will, but groups around the school. And the playground was set out. There was a green bit with like a tree line, and there was a concrete bit. People would own the concrete bit, people would own the green bit, people would own the trees. We owned the trees. And if you own the trees, that is like owning the end of Monopoly. You have the big wins. Because leaves were currency, so money did basically grow on trees.
Wait,
in this sense.
Why? What? Your school was like a little village, like.
Yeah, we had our own form of capitalism. We created capitalism at the young age of like 9 or 10.
My school was nothing like that.
And then it was just a nice village school, you know. I'm sure it was very different.
Very different from every other school in the world. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah, but you'd have the leaves, and you could like trade them to other people for work. So they clean the leaves. That would be the work. From the area, and one of the trees happened to grow a bit like the throne from Game of Thrones, so you could sit on that. Anyway, the day that the incident happened, I had left the tree gang to go play. Now this is going to make me sound very cool. To go play Ben 10 with one of my other friends.
No, I respect
we pretended
that.
we had a watch. Pretended we had a watch, and when you hit it, you could turn into anything. It wasn't just the Ben 10 ones. I turned into like animals and other aliens from other shows. You know, it was advanced Ben 10. Yeah. So I went off to play that while the other people in the tree gang thought it was a good idea to tie up a human girl to the fence. I don't know what was going through their heads, but yeah, for legal reasons.
Those kids are tyrants.
They fully are. I mean, they're probably in jail now. I know a few of them who aren't, but the others... the key people who shall not be named could be in jail for a moment.
I mean, wow. That's left me speechless, I'll be honest with you. I have...
that was the big scandal.
Idea.
And then, weirdly, the dinner lady got fired who told the parents. And the school didn't get done. It's these big corporations like... unnamed primary school that I went to.
Unnamed primary school.
Not going to name it for legal reasons.
In East Anglia.
Unnamed primary school.
That narrows it down.
In East Anglia.
Let me give you guys some more hints. It's in the UK.
I went there.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's probably not that hard to find your primary school. Yeah.
I just don't want to be the reason it's found out.
They can't sue you. You didn't say their name. You ain't do nothing. You just said my primary school, which is fair enough. My primary school was nothing like that. The worst thing we had was a riot. I mean, no, wait, no, yeah,
so much better.
I mean, a bunch of little kids probably isn't that big of an issue. I mean, it is an issue because strength in numbers, but
they can't shoot us all.
Yeah, they deployed the army on us.
And the homeless, they all came in.
And the homeless robots.
And the synths from humans, they all came in.
And it was just a bunch of primary school kids trying to beef some robots.
If you had skipping ropes, so you could just tie them to the
That
fence.
is one of the reasons that we had the riot, basically. I don't know what happened. I was probably inside on the day it happened or not in school. But I think the day before, some kids, not some kids, a lot of kids had done something really bad. But like, monkey see, monkey do, they all copied each other. I have no idea what they were actually doing, so I couldn't tell you.
Nice.
But the day after, I went out and all the toys were just gone. We had just been banned from toys. So like you know how those little boxes that they lock the toys up in. Yeah. So they kept them in there, and we were not allowed to use any toys. And the people were asking the teachers, were like, "Why can't we use toys?" And that the teachers were like, "You guys were really bad with them yesterday. You're not allowed to use them anymore." And then one guy is all it takes to kick off. He starts chanting, "Give us our toys back! Give us our toys back!"
All it takes, one person.
That's all it takes. And then all the other kids, as I said, monkey see, monkey do, they all join in. People start kicking the little tubs that the toys are in, like, "Give us our toys back." They're like booting water fountains and stuff. I am pretty sure the teachers were probably terrified. They were terrified.
I would be.
Because it was year 5, year 6, I think. So that would have been, what, like 240 kids just chanting, "Give us our toys back." I have no idea what I would do. Well, no, we all ended up having to go in from lunchtime early. So I think we had like 20 minutes instead of the whole 50-minute or an hour lunchtime that we usually have. And we just had to sit in our rooms, in our classes in silence. And then
in your rooms that you had at school.
My school wasn't a boarding school. We were too broke for that.
Where was your school?
London.
Your primary school?
London, bro. With thugs. London. That's why we started the riots. I can't disclose that information. But yeah, it was school in. They probably don't even remember who I am.
You could just beep it out.
So the next day we had an assembly and the head teacher was like, "You guys, what you did was really wrong." Like, obviously they know it was wrong, but you took their toys. Like, and guys, this is proof that riots work, because on the day after, we got our toys back. So, if anything...
You put the fear of God into those teachers.
They are never taking the students' toys away again.
But you still don't know why they took the toys.
Why they took the toys. I wasn't in the day before. Actually, no, I was in the day before, but I used to we had this Nintendo DS club. But only like the elites were allowed in. I say the elite. Basically, one teacher just picked students that he liked, and there was like 6 or 7 of us, and we had Mario Kart competitions, and there was like a spreadsheet. I was the worst, but Mario Kart, so I was there every single day. So I didn't actually know what they did because I was in the IT class playing Mario Kart. I don't know, that might not have been allowed. That teacher might just have been a creep, but Mario Kart, bro.
While you're playing Mario Kart, he's taking lots of pictures of you from behind and stuff.
You nearly made me spit up.
It's all a trap.
Oh god. Oh no. Yeah, if you guys ever find young pictures of me just circulating around the internet playing Mario Kart,
just mind your business.
Just mind your business. Oh gosh. The primary school was crazy, man. Mine was it was a bunch of young thugs. It was like a breeding ground for thugs.
I feel like children are just very thuggish, though.
They're just evil.
We used to trade match attacks at the park, and someone wanted the David Beckham card my friend had, so I punched him in the face and his nose bled for a match attacks card. Like, I feel like that would not happen at our ripe age of
definitely.
20.
You feel like it wouldn't happen? No, bro. Like, people in uni are fighting over match attacks cards all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's still match attacks. Match attacks are like the currency at uni now, but it's more psychological threat than physical. Like, I'll get you cancelled, you know. The David Tennant card. Bro. He doesn't play football.
I'll call Batman on you.
Oh, what? Okay. I don't want my spine broken just trying to make some money, man.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Jesus. Imagine if Bruce Wayne wasn't homeschooled. Imagine the amount of people he would have messed up over tiny things.
What I'm saying is you wouldn't have had riots, and there would be no one left in the tree gang at my school.
It would have been over for every single child. Very quick.
They'd all be paraplegic afterwards. He doesn't even kill them, though, does he? He just like
he
messes up their life.
He has a code. he just paralyzes them.
Bring them to the brink of death.
Oh God, Batman! What a guy!
Worst.
What a guy! Man, I miss primary school. Actually, no. I don't miss primary school. I don't care about primary school. I miss secondary school, man. Secondary school was good.
Like year 9 to 11.
Yeah. I hated like half the people. I think that's the same for everyone. Everyone hates half the people in their school. They're all just creeps, weirdos, and people who judge you for no reason. And uni is the same, but now we don't have to sit in a class with them.
Yeah, exactly. You can avoid them more at uni and just hang out with who you like.
Be where you want, when you want. So, in secondary school. I hung out with the sportsy people, the athletes. Like, that's cap. I used to hang out with everybody. So, like, it just depended on who was out at the time. Like, I mainly used to play basketball, obviously. But I'm a pretty, like, I wouldn't say I like talking to people, but I don't mind. Like, I talk to people perfectly fine. So if there's like...
Yeah, no, I get you.
So like, I would make friends pretty easily. So like, someone could be doing something and I'll be like, oh, can I join in? And it'll be someone I've never spoken to before. And they'd be too scared to say yes because they're socially awkward, and I just join in with their games, and then all of a sudden they realise, oh, this guy's pretty cool. We're not friends, but we're like acquaintances. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I mainly hung out with the people who did music and the people who played a lot of basketball. Like, that's how I got into basketball. Funny story, very funny story. The first time I ever played basketball, this is gonna haunt me forever. The first shot I took, basically, right, it was year 7. They were like, "Oh, you're big, you're tall, you're black, basically. You can play basketball for us on the basketball team for sports day." And I was like, "Sure, cool, I'll play basketball for you guys." But I wasn't very good at the time. They passed the ball to me and they were all yelling at me. I can remember there was like 2 other classes, 2 other forms watching. I was just there, the pressure, like sweat dripping down my head. I was they were all yelling at me to shoot because no one was guarding me. I just threw the ball up. This was the first time I'd ever played basketball, first shot I'd ever taken in basketball. And guess what? The ball went backwards. Oh. It went back.
I think it went in.
And everyone was laughing at me. I was like, like, how does the ball go backwards? I'm thinking about it now myself. What did I do to actually make the ball go backwards? Because you throw a ball up, right?
Defied physics.
I was so bad at defied physics, yeah. You throw a ball up, like, in front of you, and you push it forwards to go into a hoop. How does it go backwards? Like, someone's going to have to explain that to me.
Was it you who shot the bullet at JFK and like, bent round?
Yeah, that was me too.
Favour along.
People are gonna know my secret now.
You're gonna get cancelled for that one. For killing JFK.
I'm probably cancelled for a lot of stuff.
Can't do anything these days.
There is a lot of stuff I've done that I could be cancelled for.
Yeah. No, I mean, school sporting events. I mean, they're not really my strong point. Like, in primary school, I used to win all the swimming competitions, but I've since realised that's probably just because I was with a load of weak swimmers, to put it nicely. Because in secondary school, I joined the ISA swimming competition thing, and I got in the pool. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for this, mate." Started going. I was like, "I'm probably doing really well." Realised I got to the end. I was like, "Hell yeah!" Everyone else had already got out of the water. Like they'd already finished, and I was still just like,
"Hey man, as long as you're
along.
enjoying what you're doing, right?" But, like the reason
everyone was cheering for me. I was like, "Oh, it's because I'm doing well." They're just cheering for me to finish.
Fun. Like everyone else was like properly competing. They weren't having fun. You were enjoying yourself, enjoying your swim.
Exactly.
Nice day out.
I wasn't the worst though. My friend got in the water. He did like a lap, was halfway back, and he started. His arms were just sort of like half, like sort of almost slapping the water rather than doing front crawl. And then he just sort of stopped moving, and they're like, his face is like down in the water. They're like, "Is he good?" And then it goes silent for a minute. And then
someone go check on that kid.
then you just see this lifeguard run in and jump into the water like pencil dive.
Oh, no.
Go over to him, just like drag him towards the edge. He's just like a lifeless like mannequin. You know, like the in-betweeners when they drag Simon out the water and he's just like hanging. He was like that. And he's like,
oh no, man. I can't swim. I just don't get into some. Well, I do. I just don't. I get into the deep end because I like to live life on the edge. I float because, you know, if you don't struggle, you float. But I cannot swim to save my life. Like, people are like, "Oh, but can't you do that? What's that thing where you just like kick your legs and you stay up?"
Like doggy paddle. Oh, yeah. No. Treading water.
People have asked me, "Can't you even tread water?" No, I cannot. I just know that simple physics, as a human being, if you stay still, you are floating. That's why you get all those Spotify ads that are like, if you're ever caught in the sea, don't struggle, blah blah blah. Yeah, makes sense. Just float. Like, I can enjoy being at a pool or at the beach with my friends, but if I ever get like caught in like a tsunami or a storm, or I'm ever on a boat that I'm ever on a boat that just sinks, I'm gone. I'm gone. It's over for me. The thing is, like,
Nate, you can float, bro. Yeah. You can float. Let the tide.
The thing is, like swimming is obviously a life skill. Like, it's something that everybody should learn. But my logic is that, well, I'm never going to put myself in a situation where I need to be able to swim to survive. Like, if people are like, "Let's go canoeing," I'm like, no. Why am I gonna go? Why am I gonna go canoeing? or like, "Let's go to this country via boat." Why? Let's take a plane. Like, obviously.
What if the plane crashes in the ocean?
None of us are surviving then. Like, let's be real here.
You might.
If the plane crashes in the ocean, I'm not. You think I'm swimming 1,000 miles even if I know how to swim?
What if it's like 100 meters? It almost made it to land.
I'm gonna be saved, bro.
Yes, that's true. Actually,
like, I'm not gonna be in a situation where I really, really need to swim to save my life. Well, like, chances are I won't.
What about if someone's holding a gun to your head and is like, "Swim"?
I'm dead. or that's the day I learned to swim. You know.
Understandable.
Also, I was pretty chubby back in the day, so whenever I got into a pool, you know what I'm about to say, don't you? I was one of those kids that stood in the pool with their t-shirt on. Just
the armbands.
Just t-shirt, armbands, just at the corner of the pool, talking to people like, "So, how are you guys doing today?" I might as well have had jeans on.
Moto. Full suit, just sat in the suit.
No, you know,
deep end.
You know
not
how
even in the shallow end.
Like, you wear more layers to hide it. A swimming pool is dangerous because you can't wear more layers. You only have the t-shirt, right? and then when you go into the swimming pool, like, you don't realize, but the t-shirt actually makes it worse because then it just sticks to your skin, and people can actually see your man boobs and your fat. So So it's just redundant. Like, just go in the pool. Or just
I don't want to. I don't know why this made me think of this, but a fun fact is that hippos can't swim.
why are you always in water then? What?
Because they can float, so they are on the top when they float. They sink down to the bottom because they let all the air out of their lungs, and then walk along the bottom of the whatever water they're in, and then float back up to the top. So you'll never see them like move on the surface. They pop on the surface, move on the bottom.
It was primary school when we had to swim.
Hashtag relatable.
Did your school do swimming lessons? I don't know. Mine did in like year 4.
Yeah, we did swim lessons.
that was pretty much me. I would not swim. I would just sink to the bottom, walk, and then and then float back up.
Everyone's doing like cut the cake with like front crawl. No, where's Faye? You're just pacing it along the bottom. Like.
That's probably why my legs are so strong.
Yeah.
Oh,
so like they train athletes by making them run in water, don't they? That's what you were doing, mate.
I mean, I can hold my breath pretty long if I'm being honest. It's like I think I could survive quite a while, like in the ocean or in a situation where I can't swim. I just wouldn't be able to get to safety. I would need someone else to get me to safety.
Yeah, I get that. Did you ever do the survival training? Like, we had to wear pyjamas. I didn't wear pyjamas, really, but they had to wear pyjamas into the pool to see what would happen in a survival situation. Because, you know, you're always going to wear pyjamas in a survival situation and try and, like, get them off and make them into an airbag in the water.
No flood that big is happening in the UK where you need to you need to get out of bed in your pajamas and you're in water. Like,
I was like, what if you fell in the ocean? And I was like, in my pajamas? I was like, what? But I suppose children are the ones who wear pajamas.
Yeah, true.
So they need to learn how to blow air into their bottoms to make a buoyancy.
This is true. This is very true.
I got kicked out of a swimming lesson at school once and hit my friend with one of those like noodles, you know, the like inflatable noodle things.
That's dangerous, bro.
That's true.
That's
hit him in the head,
bro. You're living life on the edge.
It weighs nothing.
You could have made him drown, bro.
Hit him in the head. He was like, "Stop it!" The guy was like, "Get out!"
People used to get kicked out of our lessons because there was 2 changing rooms. We were only actually allowed to use one of them, but some people didn't like changing around other guys. Just fair enough as a kid, kind of. So what they would do is they would like sneak into the other changing room. But if they got caught, they were like kicked out of the lesson.
Rebellious.
Which I didn't get because they were just changing. But
yeah,
that's the only reason that I remember
rules that don't really make
people
sense
being kicked out. Yeah, schools. I think they're just power hungry, really, because you got to let children do their thing, really. Just let them vibe, let them exist. Yeah.
Otherwise, they might riot. You know?
Otherwise, they might riot. Anyway,
who knows?
You think that's a good place to end it?
Yeah. Just a last little bit of ASMR.
Oh, lovely. Anyway, we'll be back soon. We'll see you guys every Saturday, hopefully. Yeah, stay safe.
Although I'm not coming back if this gets less than 3 views.
Yeah, same. I'll be honest, same. Anyway, it's been nice. This has been Favor and Adam on Anecdote, the podcast.
ASMR. Yeah, video as well.